Hi traders, thanks for joining again this week. This is Keshav from Surplus Forex with weekly analysis and forecast. As always, I'll start with USD Index and build from there for each pair, including Crude Oil and Gold. Once again, I'll also describe my entries, stop losses, and take profit for each trade I take. We'll run through what I call as USD Bucket and pairs listed here. The trading plan as uses finding and highlighting trends and support resistance levels on daily time frame and 4-hour time frame. I'll mark entries, stop losses, take profit targets at 4-hour chart. Make sure you make entries only upon confirmation after completion of the candle that crosses either support and resistance and our trend line where possible, keeping risk reward at ratio 1:2. This means when you cross first target by 20%, then move your stop loss to 1:1 and then wait for the second target for 1:2 reward. If the price does not move ahead by 20% in next 4-hour candle, then get out of the trade with 1:1 reward. Enter with confidence, do not fiddle with the trade, and also to improve yourself, always track your performance. So let's start and see what we expect for the week ahead to unfold for us. Right, let's start with our weekly forecast for the week from March 23rd to March 27th. Before we start with the forecast, I wanted to give you performance for the past week, this week, with a little twist in the presentation. So I wanted to show you performance for the week week of March 16 to March 20. We did gain some handsome pips. Close to 2,137 pips. Below you can see the snapshot of my tracker for the week March 16 to March 20th here. Now you will say that if he is making 2,000 pips per week on an average, then he should be making millions. He should be millionaire. What this guy is doing on the YouTube, I'm not a millionaire, not yet. Soon I will be. I seriously abide by the risk management rules, and as of now I'm only using micro and mini lots. I like to build slow and strong. I'll show you all these trades that we'll discuss for the forecast for each pair for this coming week, and how we did it. I'll explain you each one before starting the forecast for the pair. I'll explain you how we did the performance for the past week. This part is just to motivate you and evidence that you can do it too. There is no magic in this. All you need to do is learn the basics of chart reading and follow good strategies and good risk management rules. Basics are good enough to be profitable. You don't have to learn any advanced techniques to be consistently profitable. All my ideas and learnings are clearly detailed in my book Forex Must-Haves. It's available on Amazon as mentioned at the end of this video. I'm in the process of setting the website Surplus Forex, where I'll put all this content and much more material for easier access. Let's start with the coming week forecast for March 23rd to March 27th. So here, past week we decided with the entry point. So the blue mark is an entry point, and the first green, light green, is the first target, and the second green is the second target. So that was for March 16th to March 20th, and below you can see that we crossed this as well. We easily took USD Index. It jumped to higher, as of now currently sitting at 101.95. Starting with the forecast for this USD Index, we see that it rose its high currently at 101.95 all the way to the north, and not that it hasn't touched it's touched close to 104 in the past, and in I guess 2001 it even touched close to 120 as well. So as of now it's upwards, and I believe that it's gained too high. It became too high too early, so it's about to fall. Plus there's equal quantitative easing all around going on, so it'll affect tremendously. I believe that it's going to come down. So let's see on a 4-hour chart how USD index is going to do for this next coming week. On a 4-hour chart, I'm open both ways. So what I believe is that my bias on USD index will be either neutral or coming down, or falling down. So I believe that if it crosses 194, then I'll take my entry close to 162, and the first target will be 100, and my second target will be 99.17. On the reverse side, if it continues to go as it did past in 2016, so that's the same time, 2015, 2016. So at the same time, if it crosses 103.08, I expect I'll take my entry close to 103.27, and keeping first target at 103.77. So I'm keeping still my USD index bias. Most probably it'll be will be downwards. It'll be falling for the coming week. It'll be bias, and I'll be keeping it bearish. The bias will be bearish. For the next Euro USD on a 4-hour chart, as I told you, I'll be showing you performance for the previous week. We thought of an entry close to 110 with the first target here and further, keeping it bearish. So here you can see that it achieved all the targets here. As of now, currently sitting close to 106.9, 106.96. So that's on a 4-hour chart, Euro USD. For a daily time frame, it's clearly showing that it's all bearish, Euro USD, as my USD index bias is going to be bearish. So I believe that the euro will pick some strength for the forthcoming week. So let's see on a 4-hour chart. On a 4-hour chart, again, I'm open both ways. Most probably I'm taking my target with if it crosses 107.98, 108, close to this, and if it tests this level, then I'll be open going bullish with entry at 108.28, first target 108.99, and second target 109.72. But if it's continue to fall, and if it tests this level of 106.33, then I'll start my target at entry close to 106.02, and then I'll keep my target, first target, at 105.27. So that's Euro USD, as I'm keeping my USD index bias bearish. On a GBPUSD, for the last week, as it shows here, for March 16th to March 20th, we had a target believing that if it tests this value of 123.86, then we are going bullish, and let's see how it worked out. It did not work out, and it went all the way bearish, and we lost good pips. We lost lots of pips here. So this week, we know that it's been bearish. I still hoping that USD index will be bearish, so GBPUSD comparatively should be gaining the strength. So on a 4-hour chart, I see that if it crosses 118.90 and it tests this value here, and it crosses this downtrend line, then it should we should make an entry at 118.97, keeping our first target at 120.70, second target at 122.46, keeping our stop loss at 116.05. Next one, USDCAD, Canadian dollar. So here for the previous week, from 16th to March, from March 20th, we were having 138 as 138.10 as an entry point, keeping a target at 139.22. So for this week we did see that it went way past this target, and it did reach the second target as well for 140.39. So we did gain lots of pips here. For this week, for March 23rd, 27, it's been bullish all the way through. I understand that, and there's been a big pin bar here, and it started dropping after that. I believe that plus my bias for USD index is bearish. I believe that it will come down. So let's see on 4-hour chart how I'm presenting it. For 4-hour chart, I see that if this comes down and crosses a 141.80 towards the bearish side, towards south, so and test this point, I'll make my entry at 141.39, keeping first target at 139.90 and second target at 138.13. Whereas I'll keep my stop loss close to 143.50. Let's move further for USD dollar Japanese yen. Last week for the March 16 to 20, I was open both ways with this, and keeping entry either at 105.61 or my entry at 108.77. On this we did lose some for this one, for the entry here, and we did gain on the entry here for 108.77. Took our first target 110.02 and second target at 111.07. So on for this week, for March 20th to 27, for forthcoming week, we see that it's been USD dollar broke all the rules, went north all the way, but I believe there's an indecision candle at the top, should be coming down next. We need to be watchful for the on a 4-hour chart. How I'm keeping it is that I'm taking, if it crosses 109.10, close to this, if it drops below this, test this level, then I'm making my entry at 108.77, keeping my first target at 106.59 and 95, sorry, 106.95 and 105.79, keeping my stop loss at 110.64. Alright, the next one is GBPUSD. Last week, March 16, March 20th, we expected it to come back, test this level of 162. So we thought that we'll make entry at 161.79 and go bearish on this further. So let's see what happened the week after. So the week after, you see, alright, March 16, March 20th, week after, it went bearish all the way down and touched 55.55. Now currently sitting at 56.97. It we reached both our targets. So for March 23rd, 27, it seems it is bearish all the way down, but I expect that USD will be there will be some correction to USD index that might that will help Kiwi dollar to rise. So for this one, I'm open both ways still. As of now, if I'm making I'm expecting that it will come close to 158.30, 158.40, and we'll test this 158.60. If it touches 158.60, test this point of 58.59. My apologies, 58.59. Then we'll make our entry at 58.59, keeping it first target at 59.39 and second target at 60.29, keeping stop loss very close to 57.45. On the other hand, if it falls further and test this 55.95 close to 56 or 55.95, then I'll be making my entry at 55.95, going all the way down to 55.00. This has been the lowest since, so I still believe that it will be hovering somewhere between 59.39 and 56.98. So most probably it'll be bullish for this coming week, for March 23rd, 27. Next one is Aussie USD. For Aussie USD, last week on March 16, March 20th, we were bearish on this as well, keeping 62.85 as at our entry point, keeping the target at 61.92. Let's see what happened. So it went bearish all the way, dropping close to again 55. Very much like kiwis, as of now sitting at 58.07. So we reached both our targets, even it crossed 60.67. So now for this forthcoming week, we know it's bearish. It started showing the sign for after the indices and candles started showing the sign being bullish. I expect that USD index being bearish will give it a chance for Aussie dollar to rise. Still, oops, I went back up. So next slide on this, just give me a second. Okay, so this one on Aussie USD on a daily time frame, it's still showing that it's going bearish, but I expect the Aussie dollar to rise. So this is how I'm taking my entries. I'm open still both ways. So I'm taking if it crosses, so most probably it'll 59.52. If it test this level of 59.50, 59.52, then once it confirms the candle at 59.73, I'll make my entry at 59.73, keeping my target at 60.60 and second target at 61.80. On the reverse side, if it continues to fall like it did earlier too, so if it continues to fall below this and tests this 57.55, then I'll make my entry at 57.55, keeping my first target at 56.79 and second target at 55.94, right above this old support of 55.73. I'll keep my final target at 55.94. I still expect it to rise and being bullish for the coming week, as my bias on USD index is bearish. So US Swiss franc. For US Swiss franc, last week we took an entry at 95.59 and thought that it will be bullish. Let's see how it acted. It took out our first target at 96.36 and second target at 97.13. So for the forthcoming week, I see that it's against the Swiss franc, USD dollar rose all the way to the top to 98.67, close to 98.60. So as of now it's sitting there. There's a big good pin bar, but I still believe that USD index will be making a correction this week. And so let's see on a 4-hour chart how I'm representing this. For 4-hour chart, I see that if it crosses, comes down and make a test at 97.64, then I'm going bearish on keeping my entry at 97.64, my stop loss at 98.66, my first target at 96.88 and second target at 96.02. And I'll always check on this one, especially if I'll make my entry only if it crosses this uptrend line, then I'll make my entry at 97.64. Please be aware of this. For sweet oil, crude oil, last week we were open both ways, making entry at 37.27 and going bullish, first target at 40.41, or on the reverse side, if it falls, our idea was to make an entry at 29.44 and 27.31, falling down to 24.64. Last week I told you that Saudi Arabia and Russia are on a lockdown for headlock for keeping the prices down. So my take on this was, my bias on crude oil was bearish. Let's see how it worked out this week. We did see that we made a good entry at 29.44 and it went all the way down, crossing our entries at 25.44 easily. And as of now, it's sitting at 23.35, which is a 17-year low as of now. And let's see for the forthcoming week of March 23rd, it's all the way down. I believe that it will go up with the correction from here. It's already started going up, it's crossed, and there's a little peep. I can see that this has come up, green candle, yeah, little showing up. Still the prices are falling down. It might hover close to between 20 and 27. Let's see on a 4-hour chart how I'm taking my entries. So for a 4-hour chart, if this price from 23.37 rise and test 25.18, 25.25, close to that, I'll make my entry at, once it tests 25.60s, 25.70, I'll make my entry at 25.69, keeping my first target at 26.95, second target at 27.95. On the reverse side, if it remain under pressure, and then if it tests close to 21.62, then there's very good chances of keeping it staying within the mark of 20.40 to 21.60. So I'll keep and make my entry at 21.62, keeping my first target at 20.43. So both ways, good opportunities all next week, as I told you last week. Again, for gold versus USD. So last week I said that we open, I believe that it will be rising, and it can be bullish initially and can be falling later on. Making my entries both ways, I was open. And so for the bearish side, I had entries open to 15.56 and keeping my first target at 15.22. So let's see what happened this week. It crossed our targets, very good entry. It took the entry at 15.56 all the way, met our first target at 15.22, and we crossed our second target at 14.80. And as of now, currently it's sitting at 14.98. Let's see for the forthcoming week. We know the trend is downward. USD index will be falling. Gold could be picking up because of that. So I'm keeping my entries both ways, still open both ways, but I'm being prudent here that 15.17, if it crosses 15.17, crosses this uptrend line, then I'm making my entry at 15.22, expecting it to rise 15.44. But if it continue to fall for because of coronavirus, if it continues to fall, then I'm keeping my entry far below at 14.49 and keeping my target at 14.22. Stop loss as 14.77. Alright traders, that's all from me for this week. You can get analysis, entries and exits on more pair at surplusforex.com. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then please like, subscribe and share the video, and huge thanks to all the current participants who like, subscribe and share. For those who are new to Forex and now can get more information on trading Forex market from this book, I named it Forex Must-Haves, or by visiting website or surplusforex.com. I wish you all wonderful weekend and profitable trading in the week ahead, and see you next time.